Hi there, my name is Becky Adiford. I'm with MSCR Fitness, and today we're doing gentle exercise. This is about a 45-minute class, and we have some equipment hopefully you have at home. The first thing is just a chair, a nice sturdy chair with a flat bottom and back that you can sit upright in is ideal. Ideally, you'll have a water bottle, something you can drink from. If you don't have ankle weights, you can use an impromptu, I call them sock weights. So you just take old socks and fill them with about a pound of beans or rice, anything you happen to have on hand, and then tie them together. Makes a great alternative. If you have weights at home, lighter and heavier weights are what I'll be using today, but do your best. If you have canned goods that feel like they're safe to hold on to, or if you have an exercise band that you can add resistance for your arm work, that's fine. If you don't have weights, that's okay too. Just getting your arms moving is good enough. So, to start off with, I'm going to put some of my equipment to the side. We're going to start standing beside your chair. Making sure that you have a nice, clear, safe space. Hardwood floors are ideal. If you are on carpet, you want to make sure that you're lifting your feet up as we're moving so that you don't trip or slip. And of course, the most important thing is that you stay safe. So just do what's okay for your body. If a doctor or physical therapist has told you not to do something, definitely don't do it, even if I tell you to. Making sure that you're listening to your body and staying safe. So beginning, standing behind your chair for balance, coming up on your toes and back flat. Up on your toes and back flat. Feeling those calf muscles starting to warm up here. As you can see, I have a slow ascent and a slow descent. So it's a nice steady motion, even and smooth. One more. And walk over. Great, lifting up tall. The key to this next one is keeping your hips still. So you're going to lift up one set of toes and then the other, keeping your hips from moving. You're making your shin and ankle muscles do the work. So as your hips are still and steady, you're feeling your shins and ankles do the work to lift your toes up. It's okay if they don't go up very far. On average, people only have about a 10-degree range through their ankle. Making sure you're feeling your shins do the work. 3, 2, 1, and walk in place. Good. Standing beside your chair, lifting up tall, you're going to tap your toe forward and back. So you're lifting tall out of the hip you're standing on, keeping that knee nice and soft as your toe goes forward and back. 3, 2, 1, and down. Switching sides, keeping your belly tucked in, breathing, just letting that foot drift forward and back. Most of these exercises, if I'm doing them standing, you can do them seated. Or if I'm sitting and you want to stand and get a little more work in, you can stand. Really adapt whatever you need to adapt so that it's okay for your body. 3, 2, 1, and down, walk a little. Good. Lifting up tall, your knees are going to stay soft, feet hip distance apart. Let your hands swing side to side without letting your hips move. This is a great exercise to practice in front of a mirror so that you can see whether or not your hips are staying still. Getting those core muscles, starting to awaken them. Get the blood flowing. 3, 2, 1, and down. Letting your hands sway forward and back. Just getting some blood flowing, feeling that motion. Maybe you haven't moved your shoulders very much lately. This is easy and gentle, almost all momentum here. 3, 2, and down. This time letting your hands scissor across each other, alternating which hand's on top. Again, this is easy and gentle, mostly momentum. Just getting some muscles warmed up here. 3, 2, 1, and down. Feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. You're going to reach up and over and back down. So that might be just a little reach, or it might be a bigger reach. Feeling your side waist muscles open here, feeling your shoulders start to open and expand. Really keeping this gentle, just making sure that you're doing what your body's okay with. One more on each side. And back to a walk. Good, go ahead and have a seat. For this next exercise, the further forward you are in your chair, the harder it is. The further back you are in your chair, the easier it is. If you want to add more challenge, you can grab that sock weight. For more challenge, draping the sock weight over the top of your ankle. Lifting up tall. What we tend to do is slump forward because it's easier. Instead, make sure your spine stays nice and tall, belly stays tucked in, letting your foot come up and holding it there. And down. Again, keeping that spine nice and tall. Lifting up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Keeping that nice tall spine, breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Shake your legs out. If you're feeling that in your back, you want to engage your belly, maybe scooch back a little. If it seems too easy, come a little bit more forward or lift your knee up a little more. Now we're switching to the other side. So we want to work one side, make it tired, and then shift to the other side. Lifting up tall, belly stays tucked in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Lifting up. If I do 5 and your body wants to do 3, just do 3. That's okay. If I do 5 and your body wants to do 8, pause the video and do 8. So making sure that you're adapting this to fit what feels okay for your body. And down. Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down. Good. Set the sock weight to the side and shake your legs out. While we're here, we're going to do a little bit of foot and ankle work. This is really good for balance. Lifting up tall, you're going to lift one set of toes and the opposite heel. So right now I have my left toes lifted and my right heel lifted. And down. Other side. Now I have my right toes lifted and my left heel lifted. So you have one set of toes and the opposite heel. Alternating back and forth. You may have to go at a really slow pace if you've never done this before, or once you've done it a couple of times and your brain figures it out, you can speed it up a little bit. Especially if this is new for you, it's a real mental challenge because you're using both hemispheres crossing sides. So feel free to take your time. If you've done this quite a bit and this seems easy, you could double your lifting. So you're doing toe, heel, switching side, heel, toe. See, I can describe it or I can do it. You can see I've already lost count a couple times. So adding challenge is a good thing. It's your brain and body work a little bit harder. One more set on each side. Shake your ankle out. Shake your other ankle out. Good. Lifting up tall. One knee is going to stay still as you step your other leg out and back in. If that feels like too much work, you can fishtail your foot out and back in. The key is that your spine stays long and tall and your other knee stays still. So you're stepping or fishtailing that foot out, keeping your other knee still and steady. 2 more. Breathing. And down. Shake your legs out. Lifting up tall, other side, keeping your other knee still and steady as your leg either steps out or fishtails out. So fishtailing is easier, stepping out is harder. Doing what's okay for your body. Using that core to stabilize as you let your leg come out and back in, keeping that other knee still and steady. 2 more. Keep breathing. And shake your legs out. Good, grab those sock weights again if you have them, or if you don't have sock weights, you can use a pillow or a large roll of paper towels, anything that has a little give to it that's still going to provide some resistance. So you're going to put that object between your thighs, not on the knee joint itself, but between the thigh muscles. Squeezing the thighs together, engage the pelvic floor. This is often called a kegel. Using your pelvic floor muscles, keeping those nice and strong and tight, but keeping your jaw soft. Breathing, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Shake your thighs out. And again, engaging your thigh muscles, engaging your pelvic floor muscles, keeping those pelvic floor muscles strong while your jaw and throat and shoulders are nice and soft and relaxed. So your lower half is engaged, your upper half is relaxed. 3, 2, 1, and soften. And again, engaging those inner thighs, engaging your pelvic floor muscles, keeping the pelvic floor strong the whole time as you're breathing in and out. 3, 2, 1, and soften, shake it out. One more time. Engaging your inner thighs, engaging those pelvic floor muscles, keeping your pelvic floor strong, letting your upper body stay soft and relaxed. 3, 2, 1, and soften, shake it out. Great, setting that sock weight or pillow or paper towel roll aside, you're going to come toward the front of your chair, pull your feet underneath you, lean forward nose over toes, and stand to the count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stepping back so the back of your legs touches the front of the chair, you're going to drift down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That last inch is the most important, making sure you're drifting like a feather, not flopping. Scooching forward, feet underneath you, hip distance apart, lean forward, nose over toes. If you want more challenge, let your hands come up like a pterodactyl. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back and drifting down. 5, 4, 3, 2. That last inch is a really slow drift down. Good. 2 more times. Coming forward. Pull your feet underneath you. Lean forward, nose over toes. Using your glutes, pressing your feet into the ground, lifting yourself up, using your legs, not your back. Coming back. Back of the legs touch the chair, drifting down. Using your glutes to do the work, no strain in your low back here. Drift, drift, drift. And down. One more set. Coming forward, feet in, nose over toes. Extra challenge, let your arms be free. Drifting your way up. Coming back. One more time, sinking down. And drifting that last inch and down. Shake your legs out. Good. Coming forward, feet underneath you, pressing your feet into the ground, using your glutes to stand. That was a pretty quick stand, but good form. Again, if you want to use the ankle weights, you can. If you have actual ankle weights, that's ideal. Otherwise, you can use your sock weights. So lifting up tall out of the hip that you're standing on. Let me move this chair to the side so I'm a little more centered. You're going to hook the sock weights over the back of your ankle. Keeping your toe pointed will help the sock weights stay on your ankle. Lifting tall out of the hip you're standing on, your knees are going to stay touching. So don't let your knee drift forward. Instead, keep your knee back and down. Lifting up tall, let that heel come up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drifting back down. You're lifting tall out of the hip that you're standing on, and that knee is soft. And down, making sure you're breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down. And of course, it's perfectly fine to do this exercise without any weights. You want to feel the back of your thigh doing the work, not your low back. And down. If you're not really feeling it in the back of your thigh, try bringing your knee back just a little bit. And down. Let that sock weight drift off and walk a little. Walking is nature's reset button. Shift to the other side. Again, you're lifting tall out of the hip you're standing on. If you have an ankle weight, shifting it to that side or putting your sock weight over your ankles. Your knees stay touching. Tall out of the hip you're standing on, keep that knee soft. Belly stays strong as the heel comes up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Keep on lifting tall out of that hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Last one. Jaw stays soft. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Setting that weight down, walk a little bit. Good. Coming behind your chair, I'm going to stand to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. Lifting up tall, your feet are going to stay parallel. So you're lifting your heel up and out, letting it drift back down. Keeping your upper body upright, feeling the hip do the work. If you feel it in the front of your thigh, it means your toes are pointed out. So keeping those feet parallel as you press your heel up and let it come back down. 2 more. Breathing. And down, back to a walk. Good. Shifting to the other side, lifting tall, keeping that upper body upright as your heel comes out to the side and back down. Slow and steady here. A slower motion is more work. Feeling those glute muscles, lift your heel up and out. Again, keeping your feet either parallel or even a little pigeon-toed. 2 more. Breathing. Using that chair for balance if you need it. And down, back to a walk. We're going to do something very similar, but instead of going straight out to the side, we're going to go back at a 45-degree angle. Making sure you're keeping your belly engaged. You want to feel your glutes and the back of your thighs, not your low back, do the work. So no strain in the low back here. The glutes and the thighs doing the work. Lifting up tall, upper body stays upright as that heel drifts back at a 45-degree angle, back to center. Keeping your jaw soft, belly nice and strong, and breathing. You may find that you can only go up a little bit before your back starts to engage. That's okay. Only go as far up as you can before your back does the work. You want your glutes and the back of your thighs, your hamstrings to work here. 1 more. You might also be feeling it in the hip that you're standing on. That leg is also getting some exercise. Lifting up tall out of that hip, keeping the knee soft. Now your other side, bringing the heel back and in. So it's going back at a 45-degree angle. If you were standing on a clock, it would be going to about halfway between the 4 and 5. Again, making sure your glutes and hamstrings, not your back, are doing the work. Breathing, 2 more. And back to a walk. Good. Come around to the front of your chair. Have a nice slow sit. Remember you're drifting, not flopping. And down. We'll do some core exercises next. I call them my party core work because you could be at a party and nobody would notice that you're doing them. So lifting up tall, your feet are hip distance apart. You're going to push the flat of your hands against the muscles, not on the knee, but just on top of the knee. So the thigh muscle, not the knee joint. Shoulders back and down, elbows straight, pressing your hands into your thigh, feeling your abdomen, not your back, do the work. If your back is engaged, don't press quite as hard. If you want to feel your belly work a little bit more, think about pushing your knees up against your hands. Already I can feel my belly muscles trembling. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. So again, you want your abdomen, not your back, to be doing the work here. Lifting up tall, elbows straight, shoulders back and down, chin parallel with the floor as you press your hands into the tops of your thighs. Making sure you're breathing here, especially when we use a core, we tend to hold our breath. So make sure you're inhaling and exhaling. Jaw stays nice and soft. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Remember, you're really paying attention to what your body's okay with. You can bump up the challenge or you can bump it down depending on what you need. One more time, lifting tall, shoulders back and down, elbows straight, pressing your hands into those thigh muscles, feeling your abdomen do the work here. If your tongue is pressed against the roof of your mouth, it's doing more work than it needs to. Let that jaw soften. Keeping your belly strong. Again, if your low back is engaging, don't push quite as hard. If you want a little bit more work, press your knees up against your hands, but make sure it's just your abs doing the work. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Good. You're going to reach one hand up and down. Reach the other hand up, giving those sideways muscles stretching, and down. Lifting elbows up, only if it feels okay for your shoulders, and down. Good, this next exercise, lifting up tall. Keep the knee of the leg being crossed, still and stable. Keep your shoulders over your hips, spine nice and tall. We tend to slouch and let the knee drift in, so don't do that. Instead, lift up tall, keep the knee still as your other leg drifts over, and back down. It's a slow motion leg cross, but you're keeping your upper body and your other knee still and upright. Breathing. How far up you go depends on how strong your core is, so a small lift is okay. Really want to focus on keeping that back nice and tall. One more. And shake out just that leg that's been moving. Now let both your legs shake out. Switching to the other side, lifting tall through the spine, keeping the knee still as your other leg crosses over, and back down. Again, really focusing on a nice tall spine here, jaw stays soft. Maybe you're exhaling when it's harder and inhaling when it's easier. 2 more, keeping that spine nice and tall. Shake out just the leg that's been moving. And now let both legs shake out. Great. One more time, lifting tall, coming back to that party core work. Pressing your hands against the tops of your thighs, shoulders back and down, elbows straight. Feeling your abdomen, not your back, do the work. The more tired we get, the more the back wants to take over. So make sure you're only pressing as hard as you can before your back engages, making the belly do the work. 3, 2, 1, and soften, shake it out. We're going to shift now to our arm exercises. If you have heavier and lighter weights, grab your heavier weights. You can use an exercise band for resistance. You can use your sock weights. You can use canned goods. Whatever you're doing, you want to make sure that you have a nice firm grip and that you're safe. So no chance that you would drop anything on your head, for example. Lifting up tall. You can either sit or stand for this exercise. If you're standing, 1 foot half a step forward gives your low back more support. Your core has to work a little harder if you're standing. So either standing or seated bicep curls, letting your hands drift up and drift back down. Nice and slow and steady. Your elbow is the pivot point, so your shoulders are still. When we're working too hard, we tend to throw our body around to use our whole body for momentum. So the only part of your body that's moving is from your elbow to your fingertips. And your lungs, of course. Keep breathing. 2 more, nice and slow and steady. Good. Set one weight down. Let your other weight rest in your lap or on the floor or on your chair and shake your arms out. All the way up through the shoulder joint. Good. Now holding onto your weight on either side, your heart is going to stay pointed forward as your hands come from your heart height up and out to your eye height and back down. Feel your belly and the muscles under your armpits doing the work here. Not your jaw, not your tongue. Breathing, keeping that belly engaged. You can maybe think about when this has practical benefits, like when you're putting away groceries or getting that fancy china from out of the tall cupboards. Keep your belly strong. 2 more. Or maybe you're reaching for that very last jar of peanut butter way in the back. And down. Shake your arms out. Grabbing your other weight. So again, we're still on the heavier weights here. You have heavier and lighter weights. Alternating bicep curls. One hand drifts up as the other hand drifts down. Breathing. Particularly if these exercises are new for you, sometimes it's hard to figure out what's going on. And that's a good thing. It means your brain is working as hard as your body is. So you can appreciate the benefit that your brain is getting when your mind is saying, what's going on now? And trust me, the more that you watch this video, the easier it will get. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Set one weight down. Other weight in your lap or on the chair or on the floor, shaking those arms out. Good. Holding your weight on either side. Again, your heart is going to stay pointed forward. Don't turn to the side. Instead, stay pointed forward. Your hands are going to come up and out to the side as your side waist does the work to keep you upright. Paying attention to what your shoulders are okay with, making sure your side waist is engaged, feeling those abdominal muscles along your ribs, breathing. Maybe you're exhaling when it's harder, and inhaling when it's easier. 1 more. And down. Switch to the other side. Again, sternum pointed forward. As your hands come up and out to the side, feel those side waist muscles doing the work to support you. Jaw stays soft, still breathing. Two more. And down. Shake your arms out. This next exercise, you can use lighter or heavier weights, and you can do them both arms, or you can do one arm at a time. So if you're doing both arms, you'll get done in half the time. If you're doing alternating arms, you can follow me. Lifting up tall, keeping your arm in alignment. Pay attention to what's okay for your shoulder. So only go as high as your shoulder is okay with. Pressing up and sinking down. Keeping that belly nice and strong. Again, really listening to your body, paying attention to what your body's okay with. The height, the pace, and the number of times are up to you. Two more if that feels okay. And down, shake that arm out, all the way up to the shoulder. Range of motion with no effort. Good. Switching to the other side, lifting tall, belly stays strong, chin stays parallel with the floor. You might find one side is stronger than the other, that's okay. Again, really tuning into what your body's okay with. If your tongue is pressed against the roof of your mouth, you can let it soften, let your core do the work instead. 2 more if that feels okay. And down, shaking that arm out all the way up to the shoulder. This next exercise, you have a couple of options. We're working on the back of the upper arms. So either you can hinge forward, tuck your elbow up like a little chicken wing, and bring your pinky up toward the ceiling and back down, keeping the upper arm still. Or you can stand in a nice lunge. So one foot is back, foot at a 45-degree angle, body weight resting on one leg as you tuck your elbow in, bring the pinky up and back down. It's the same exercise. The only difference is whether you're seated and the chair is doing the work, or if you're in this lunge and your legs are doing the work to hold you up. Keeping that upper body, the upper arm as still and stable as you can. Two more. Again, it's your choice here whether you want to be seated or in a lunge. Either way, use your legs, not your back, to push yourself up and shake that arm out. Switching to the other side, I'll be seated on the side so you can see what it looks like one side and the other. Hinging forward or getting into your lunge position, keeping that elbow in and up, your neck stays in neutral. So your chin isn't tucked way down, it's not pressed way up. It's in neutral, so there's no pain, no damage for your neck. Again, keeping that upper arm as still as you can, like there's a little baby bird resting on it. The bird built a nest on your upper arm. You don't want to disturb it, so keep it as still as possible. Your elbow is the pivot point. One more. Again, using your legs, not your back, to push yourself up. Shake that arm out. Switching to your lighter weights. Again, you can do this exercise seated or standing. You're not using your shrugging muscles. Instead, you're using the outer part of your upper arm, the deltoids. These are the muscles that are doing the work. Think about shortening these muscles together to let your arms drift up. So if you're standing, feet hip distance apart, knees soft, shoulders back and down, letting your hands drift up and out to the side and back down. Really focusing on using the outer part of those upper shoulders to do the work here. Jaw stays soft. For the overhead press and for the tricep work that we just did, you may want to use lighter weights depending on what your body's okay with. For almost everybody, you'll want lighter weights for this exercise. You should feel like your body's doing work, but that there's no pain in the joint. One more. And down. Set those weights down. Shake your arms out. The great part about doing this with the video is you can pause, rewind, redo, do more sets. You can really adapt to fit what's okay for your body. So setting those weights to the side. One more time, have a seat. We'll do a little bit of brain and body work. So the brain is just as important a muscle as the other muscles. And again, if these are new for you, they may feel really confusing at first. And that's good. That means your brain is working really hard. So we're going to start like we did at the beginning. One set of toes on the opposite heel, lifting up. So that might feel like that's your challenge for the day, and that's okay. Alternating. One set of toes on the opposite heel. What we tend to do is lift one set of toes and then leave the other heel behind. So make sure that you've got that other heel lifted up as well as the toes of the other foot. While your feet are doing that, if you want to add challenge, bring your thumb to your first, second, third, and fourth fingers. So that can start at a slow pace, or you can work your way up. Again, feet are still moving as your thumb is going first, second, third, and fourth. Pointer, middle, ring, and pinky. Keep your feet going and switch the direction of your fingers. So your feet are still going. Now you're going 4, 3, 2, 1. Pinky, ring, middle, pointer. If you want to confuse things, you can speed up either your feet or your toes. Again, mental exercise as well as that physical dexterity. And if you want to add challenge to this, go first, third, second, fourth. So pointer, ring, middle, pinky, as your feet are continuing to lift. Opposite toe and heels. Breathe. You can switch to fourth, third, no, let's fifth. How does this go again? Okay. But when it confuses the teacher, that's confusing enough. Shake those hands out. Shake your feet out. All kinds of things you can do throughout your day to engage your brain and your body and have them work a little bit harder. Good, so standing, feet hip distance apart, knees soft. Your hips are going to stay still as you let your arms sway from side to side, using your core to stabilize your body. And with no strain on the knees, you're going to let your hips and knees and toes move too. If you feel dizzy, keep your eyes fixed in one place. Breathing. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Good. Keeping those knees soft. Letting your hands sway forward and back like they're on a swing. Three, 2, 1, and down. Good. Clasping your hands, you're going to press your palms forward. So imagine that your palms are reaching further away. The space between your shoulders is expanding. Your shoulders are curling forward. And then keep your hands clasped. Pull your shoulders back together so you're squeezing your shoulder blades together as your elbows stay straight. Pushing your shoulders forward. Feel those fronts of your hands pressing forward. Elbows stay straight as your fingers come back toward your body, squeezing between your shoulder blades. And down. Shake your hands out. Again, feet hip distance apart, knees soft. Let your hands scissor across each other, alternating which hand is on top. Breathing. Just feeling your body. Maybe there's more ease of motion. Maybe your range of motion is a little bit bigger. Just noticing what that feels like. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Lifting tall, you're going to sweep one hand across your body. Helper hand draws your elbow across your body toward your other shoulder. Shoulder sinks down. Imagine you've got dangly earrings. You don't want to get them caught in your sweater, so keep that shoulder low. Jaw soft, knees soft. As you're inhaling, feel that shoulder joint expand. Exhaling, feel the space that you're creating in your shoulder. Really focusing on your breath here, taking those soft, deep breaths. Feeling the shoulder expand. Exhaling, letting your shoulder soften. And down, shake that shoulder out. Notice the difference one side to the other. And then sweep your other arm across. Helper hand draws your elbow in toward your other shoulder. Really focusing on your breath here. Inhaling, feeling the expansion, feeling your ribs expand away from each other. Exhaling, feeling that ease, the softening and lengthening of your body. Focusing on your breath here. And down. Shake those arms out. Again, feel the sense of spaciousness through your core, through your chest, through your shoulders. Bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Your knees are going to stay soft. Your hips will stay in the same position. Lifting up and out to the side, you're going to feel your side waist expanding. So you're bringing your ribs up and away from your hips. Really paying attention, only doing what feels okay for your body here. There's no pain, just that sense of expansion and connection. Really feeling aware of your body here. If you want to expand this, you can reach a hand up and overhead, only if that feels good for you. Again, breathing, feeling the expansion through your ribs and into your lungs. When we don't move a lot, our breaths tend to be very shallow and fast. So this is a chance to really expand your breath into all the parts of your body. Exhaling, letting your hand come down. Use those side muscles to pull yourself back up. And again, notice the difference one side to the other. Lifting up tall, keeping your hips still. Up and over to the other side, letting your ribs expand up and away from your hips. Especially if you've been doing a lot of sitting. Think about creating space here. Breathing, feeling your ribs expand up and away. On the exhale, feel the lengthening. And again, if you want to, you can add that hand up and overhead, only if it feels good for your body. Knees stay soft, breathing into this space. Connecting, noticing the sensations in your body, feeling the softening and expansion. One more deep breath. And letting that hand drift down. Using your side muscles to pull yourself back up. Walk your feet back together, come to the side of your chair. Lifting up tall, the hip that you're standing on stays still, that knee is soft as your other leg sways back and forth. Feeling the ease of movement through your hip joint here, this is just momentum, steady and soft. 3, 2, 1. And down. If you want to add a stretch here, lifting up tall, you're going to push your toe back behind you like you're stepping on the first dandelion of the season, if you don't like dandelions. Lifting up tall, you're going to curl your tailbone underneath you. Feel the stretch through the front of your hip, the hip flexor here. The more your toe is back behind you, or the more your tailbone is curled under, the stronger that stretch is going to be. And again, breathing. As you inhale, feel the expansion through the front of your body. As you exhale, feel that muscle softening and opening. Especially when we're doing a lot of sitting, this is great to lengthen and open the front of the body. One more deep breath. And slowly let that leg drift forward. Shifting to the other side. Lifting up tall, keeping that hip still, the knee soft, letting your legs sway back and forth. Nice, easy range of motion. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. And again, pressing your toe back. Maybe you're squashing a cockroach this time. Lifting up tall, curling your tailbone underneath you. The more your tailbone curls under, or the further back your toe is, the more you're going to get that stretch through your hip. Again, using your breath to find the length through the front of your body. Breathing. One more soft, deep breath. And gently let that leg drift back. Good, our last exercise. Standing with your feet hip distance apart. Knees stay soft, belly's tucked in. Lengthen through the spine, shoulders back and down, palms forward. Chin parallel with the ground. Take 3 soft, deep breaths for our last pose here. Really feeling your body, noticing the benefits and the challenges of your exercise today. One more soft, deep breath. Thanks so much for being part of this class. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon.